What's up, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, we get to look at the upcoming collected editions for the month of July of 2023. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to your monthly budget meeting. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. So today we're looking at the upcoming collected editions for the month of July. And I want to give a huge shout out and much love to my buddy Aaron Cobbs, who always helps me with the Marvel and DC books. This time around I had to do it by myself because it's crank time. I got to get stuff out, and filming this in mid-June before we fly out to Japan. Publishers have been doing a really good job about getting books out when they're scheduled. There's a couple of exceptions, of course. Image Comics has had a couple of delays with some books, but for the most part, it's been pretty on point, so just keep that in mind. So you'll be watching this later on, probably released around June 30th. Alright, and big thank you to the Brave and the Boys for sending me this awesome freaking shirt. Thank you guys. They have a wonderful YouTube channel. Alright. So, 4 weeks, smash that like button. You all know what to do. Leave comments down below, and then I'll be doing my top 10 on Sunday. Let's go ahead and get started with the week of July 5th. From Marvel Comics, we have Marvelverse, Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. These are the smaller size, digest-size books, collecting Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, which is her first appearance, Spider-Gwen 2015-5, and then Spider-Gwen 2015, the second series, 1 and 2, and number 13. And these are editor choices as to what they think is the best introduction to the character for new readers. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sell getting their very first gallery edition with the Spider-Man Gallery Edition. You can bet your bottom dollar that will be in my top 10, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. Then, Wasp Small Worlds. I love that they're doing this with the same design that the Ant-Man had by Al Ewing. So this has stuff in here by Al Ewing that covered by Tom Riley. I think it's awesome and really stands out. Collecting Wasp 1 through 4, that is the 2023 series, Tales to Astonish number 44. And that's just the Ant-Man and Wasp story, and it's celebrating 60 years of the Wasp. Marvel's Omnibus, new printings, both the direct market and standard edition cover are available on the same day. And this is a new, it's a reprint. And the first printing was notorious for having bad binding, like the Miles Morales first printing Omnibus. This collects Marvel Zombies Dead Days, Marvel Apes Prime 8, the number 8, Marvel Zombies Evil Evolution, Ultimate Fantastic Four 21 through 23, and 30 through 32. Marvel Zombies 1 through 5, that's the first miniseries. Black Panther 28 through 30. Marvel Zombies 2, the follow-up, the sequel, 1 through 5. Marvel Zombies Returns 1 through 5. Marvel Zombies 3, 1 through 4. I really like that one. And Marvel Zombies 4, 1 through 4. Marvel Zombies 5, 1 through 5, and then Marvel Zombies Supreme 1 through 5. We know we're also getting a Resurrection, another, it's kind of like a companion omnibus. Now, if you're interested in the standard edition cover, that one, as of this video, is out of print at the distribution center, so whatever retailers are getting, that's it. The direct market cover, that one is still in print, again, as of this video. Star Wars Hidden Temple, Hidden Empire, not Hidden Temple. I was thinking of the Nickelodeon show. Why? Anyway, collecting Star Wars Hidden Empire 1 through 5. Believe this is the third in the trilogy of War of the Bounty Hunters. And is this the third one? The Crimson... Yeah, I think this is the third story. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Charles Soule and Steve Cummings working on this book. Unforgiven. Looks like we got another Blade book coming from Tim Seeley. And this collects Unforgiven number 1, Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, and Blade Vampire Nation number 1. So these books came out in 2022 and now are getting a trade paperback. Blade getting some love. Hopefully that movie will come out soon. Thor, but not soon, but go back into production. You have Thor by Donny Cates, Volume 5, The Legacy of Thanos, and this collects Thor 27 through 28, Thanos Death Notes number 1, Thor 29 through 30. This is the last of the Donny Cates stuff, I believe, and then Torun Grombeck steps in as the writer, but so does Al Ewing, if I'm not mistaken, for this book, to kind of wrap up that series. Deadpool Epic Collection, Dead Reckoning, continuing Joe Kelly's run. So this collects Deadpool 0, 21 through 33, Deadpool Team Up number 1, Encyclopedia Deadpoolica number 1. And this one is 472 pages, $44.99. From the world of DC Comics, we have Deathstroke Incorporated, Joshua Williamson's book. Have y'all read this? Because I dug his Flash, so I don't know how his Deathstroke is. Collecting Deathstroke Incorporated 1 through 7, and a story from Batman Urban Legends number 6. And this one here is I believe it's a trade paperback. Yes, it is. This one had me excited when I saw the title, but it is not the classic, but this is Sword of Azrael. This is the new series, and this is written by Dan Waters and drawn by Nicola Cismezija. And that is a badass cover. I've always liked the big, that design of his costume is so awesome. Oh, this cover is awesome too. DC versus Vampires, All Out War Part 1, Matthew Rosenberg. And you see Azrael, Mary Marvel there. Oh, this is cool. Deathstroke and Bane, interesting team. But this is the first part of the DC versus Vampire story. This is a standard size hardcover. Batman One Bad Day Penguin, $17.99, and it is a hardcover. This is one of those one bad day stories. Of course, kind of spinning out of the Killing Joke, the idea that one bad day can turn anybody into a villain. So I haven't read any of these. They're all written by different creators. And we also have Batman One Bad Day Two-Face. There's also a box set that, well, it's a box that comes with one volume, and then you fill it in as you buy these hardcovers. And speaking of hardcovers, those aren't the only hardcovers that are coming out. We're also getting Batman vs. Robin, Mahmoud Asrar and Mark Waid. From the world of manga, we have Classroom of Elite Horikita, and that is published by 7 Seas Entertainment. As well as Dr. Stone is getting a new volume. Volume 26 is coming out. My goodness, I remember when that... They must have had a few of those, I assume, in Japan. Or at least a backstock of so many volumes, because I can't believe we're on volume 26. It feels just like yesterday that it was coming out. Like a Butterfly, being published by Viz Comics. That definitely has that old shoujo feel. This is Sue Morishita's work. And we're also getting One Piece, Volume 103. Now that is being just cranked out, man. I saw the trailer, of course, this is going to be weeks later when you all see this, but I saw the trailer just yesterday for the One Piece live-action Netflix series. If you're excited for it, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. From Dark Horse Comics, we have Masquerade, Volume 1, Kevin Smith, now printing his books over there at Dark Horse. This collects Masquerade 1 through 4. Young Hellboy Assault on Castle Death is coming out. This is the latest Young Hellboy to be coming out in hardcover format, collecting Assault on Castle Death 1 through 4. Plus bonus materials. It is a standard size hardcover, 112 pages, $24.99. The World of Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 1. Now again, I always stress the fact that sometimes Dark Horse puts things through the retailers' direct market might be different than the book dates that they're using, especially during this transition period when they're moving over things to PRH. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But this collects Sherlock, Frankenstein, and Legion of Evil, and Dr. Andromeda and the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows. If you've not read Dr. Andromeda and the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows, oh man, even if you haven't read any of Black Hammer, that book will just, that's a hard read. I love that book. Night of the Ghoul, Scott Snyder and Francisco Francavilla teaming up for this creepy looking story, collecting issues of Night Ghoul 1 through 3, originally published by Comixology. Glad they're putting these out in collected edition. So from IDW, we have Crashing by Matthew Kleen and Morgan Beam. And from Image Comics, Invincible's getting a new printing. So it's a new trade paperback of Invincible, $12.99, collecting the first 7 issues here. So it's Cory Walker's era of drawing Invincible. Ryan Ottley comes just a little bit later. And All Against All is coming out, collecting the first 5 issues with that really kick-ass looking cover. And from Boom Studios, this is big. We're getting The Complete Incorruptible by Mark Waid. I believe this is what they released as the compendiums. Boom did a couple of years ago. And we're getting The Complete Irredeemable by Mark Waid. And if you've not read that, excellent book. Magic the Gathering, Soul and Stone is coming out. And that collects Magic, Ajanji, Goldmane, and Nahidi, the Lithomancer #1. That is a hardcover as well. From Black Panel Press, we're getting Gore. It's a graphic novel by Verity Holloway and Ivo de Jagger. And that is coming out the week of July 5th. A Boy Named Rose is coming out that same week. And that one is being published by Fair Square Comics. And that is a trade paperback. And we're also getting Babysitter's Little Sister's hardcover, Karen's Haircut. Dude, those babysitter... My daughter went through that phase of the Babysitter Club, graphic novels. And she read... I don't know how many she read. Buddy Mask Cave Collection is coming out that very same week. Canuck Beyond trade paperback, Season 1, Gilded World. Fantagraphics is releasing their latest Disney Afternoon book with Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Count Rockefort case. And Cursed Princess Club hardcover, Volume 2. Now, this is available in hardcover, and in graphic novel format. Fantagraphics is releasing Dear Mini hardcover. And this is by Natalie Norris. Dragon Prince, Volume 2, Blood Moon Huntress is being printed by Graphics that same day. And Fantagraphics Underground Hidden River is coming out in trade paperback format. This is one that slipped into July. That was supposed to come out in June. This is by Magnetic Press, and that is the Sherlock Holmes. The first adventures of Sherlock Holmes, rather. A Study in Scarlet. I love the fact that it's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle that is getting credit because he wrote the original books, but this is a graphic novel adaptation. So somebody had to adapt it, right? Well, maybe it was Vincent Malley. Regardless, I'm excited. Magnetic Press puts out some beautiful books. Henshin Volume 1, Blazing Phoenix is coming out. And I thought with a title like that, maybe I was thinking of another manga. Yeah, I probably was. And Immortal Red Sonja, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And digging that cover. Oh, John Sable, Freelance Masterstroke Omnibus hardcover. So I had the opportunity to interview Mike Grell when he was at the Lexington Comic Con. And he is self-publishing this book. This is the first 13 issues. And I got a first glance at it. And it looks awesome. And this is one of his favorite series. It's one of those fan favorites that Mike Grell worked on. And it is by Comic Mix. That's his publishing company. So the first 13 issues, it is remastered and recolored. And from the looks of it, it looks amazing. Now, the Kickstarter got like the extra goodies, like the letter pages and stuff like that. So this was originally a Kickstarter. Karma is coming out from Dynamite. And that is a Stepan Sajic cover. That is a gorgeous cover. Sold on the cover alone. Pink Lemonade is coming out in trade paperback that same week. And we're also getting The Tragedy of Macbeth, published by Clover Press. And right now they have a Kickstarter for some art books. It's David Mack and Alex Maleev, I believe. And Ultra Laser is coming out in trade paperback format, as well as U-Town Both of those books are coming out in trade paperbacks. From Floating World Comics, we're getting the Wasp Video Roadhouse. That is coming out in trade paperback format. And We Survived the Holocaust, Bluma and Felix Goldberg story. That looks like a powerful read. It's published by Imagine and Wonder and available in hardcover and in graphic novel format. Zax and Other Lost Stories. Now this is something up my alley. Published by Comics Mix again. And this is Dr. Seuss. And it's a collection of Dr. Seuss stories. That's interesting that it's not associated with, nor approved by, nor do we expect it to be partially liked by Dr. Seuss Enterprises. Oh, this is really interesting. A California limited partnership which owns some of the copyright of the works of Dr. Seuss. Huh. Okay, that looks really interesting. The week of July 12th from Marvel Comics, we kick it off with the Marvelverse Spider-Woman. Again, these are those books that pretty much collect the best introduction points to the characters. So with this particular book, they chose Spider-Woman 1, number 20, Marvel Team Up 97, and Avengers Assemble 18 through 19. $9.99, 96 pages. Star Wars Legends Epic Collection Tales of the Jedi, Volume 3. So collecting Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, Dark Lords of the Sith 1 through 6, Sith War 1 through 6, Redemption 1 through 5, and then material from Star Wars Tales 23, Dark Horse Comics 7 through 9. So this is the early adventures of the Jedi, about 4,000 years before A New Hope. Marvel Masterworks. The remasterworks continue with the Fantastic Four, Volume 1. Both the direct market cover and the standard edition cover are being reprinted the same day. And again, these have the best quality out of all the Masterworks that have come out in years. So they're going back and just pretty much remastering, as they like to call it. So these are the remaster works. Superior Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. It is finally arriving. Dan Slott's magnum opus to a lot of people, including me. I believe that was as good as his Spider-Man got. Daredevil Epic Collection. The Omnibus, by the way, both covers are available the same day. Daredevil Epic Collection, A Touch of Typhoid, one that you all voted for and now is being reprinted. Collecting Daredevil 253 to 270 and Punisher number 10. So it's got that crossover. This is during the Anderson-T era of Daredevil, and of course drawn by John Romita Jr. Doctor Strange by Donny Cates. It's all of it. It's been available in a oversized hardcover, but now it is available in a trade paperback. Collecting Doctor Strange 381 to 390 and Doctor Strange Damnation 1 through 4. The Marvel Masterworks Captain America Volume 15 is coming out that day. The cover there by Frank Miller. Both covers, direct market and standard edition, both released on the same day. And collecting Captain America 261 to 269, Annual number 5, and Defenders 106. So we are looking at the J.M. DeMatteis and Mike Zeck era. Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. Hope my kids are still enjoying this era. Oh, they will be. Oh, this is cool because this is during the transition phase, because we're going to go from Steve Ditko to John Romita Sr. Both legends now gone. Oh, actually, Stan Lee. Time. Collecting Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 29 through 38. And these are the smaller digest-sized books that just my kids love and eat up. The Defenders Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out, finally. A book that I've known about, I think, 3 years now, but it is finally here. Collecting the Defenders 20 through 41, Defenders Annual number 1, Giant Size Defenders 3 through 5, Marvel 2-in-1 6 through 7, Marvel Treasury Edition number 12, material from Mysteries Tales number 21, World of Fantasy number 11, Tales of Suspense number 9, and collect it for the first time in omnibus format. $100, 704 pages. From the world of DC Comics, we kick it off with I Am Batman, a book that was released in hardcover before, but now in trade paperback. collecting I Am Batman 0 through 5, and this is written by John Ridley with artwork by Olivier Coipel. Suicide Squad Get Joker is coming out in paperback format. This is Brian Azzarello and Alex Maleev working on this book, and all 3 issues. DC Mech, man, that one was a lot of fun to read. I read that first issue. Kenny Porter sent me the first issue, and this is drawn by Baldemar Rivas, and this collects all 6 issues, available in hardcover. That's really cool that they're going out with a hardcover on this one. And $24.99, 160 pages. From the world of manga, we kick it off with a Tokyo Pop book, Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty One Day, Acid Town, #1 by Kyogo. And those, it's crazy to think how they do like manga over there now at Tokyo Pop, because it's print on demand pretty much. Atom Beginnings, Volume 5, continuing the classic retelling but retconning of Atom, of course known here in America as Astro Boy. Barbarities 3 is coming out. I love those covers. I've never read them, so I don't know if you all have or not, but if you have, let me know how they are, because that one looks really awesome. We're also getting Tier Moon Empire. J Novel Heart is the publisher of this book, and this is by Nozomu Mochizuki, and Mizu Morino is the artist on this particular book. Manga Classics Emma is coming out in hardcover format that very same week. Case Closed continuing their volumes with number 87. That is awesome. I love to see future volumes like that, and of course One Piece at 103. Kirby Manga Mania Volume 6 is coming out. My daughter, the adjectiveless Alicia, loves those books. I need to catch her up. I don't think we have the last 2. Persona 4 Arena is coming out, and that is Volume 3. If you've not been reading those, Miss Lydia actually reviewed the first, I think it was Persona 3 and 4, baby. Fantagraphics is releasing Okinawa, drawn and written by Suzumu Higa. Dark Horse Comics has given us the EC Archives Vault of Horror Volume 3 in paperback format, so in case you missed out on those hardcover editions, this would be a great way to pick them up. Hellstone is coming out from Rafael Scavone and Rafael de la Torre. And I want to say this was an original Comixology book, but now it's being printed. Powers Volume 4, collecting Powers 1 through 18. So this is where Bendis is now printing his, I guess Jinx World is still what he calls it. Yeah, by Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Avon Oeming. Past Tense is coming out by Jason McNamara and Alberto Masagia. Really dig that cover. Quick Stops, Kevin Smith. You saw the cover. This is a hardcover by not just Kevin Smith, but Jeremy Simser, Phil Hester, and Andy Parks. Collecting Quick Stops issues 1 through 4, and $24.99 and 104 pages. Resident Alien Volume 7, The Book of Love. So continuing Peter Hogan's stories with Steve Parkhouse, and this collects the 4-issue miniseries, The Book of Love. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Volume 1, Rebels and Resistance. This is a paperback collecting all 4 issues for $19.99. Air Volume 3, I believe this is the last one. I've really enjoyed this. The first volume was so good. Second one, you come kind of expect some things. But this is the final volume. Yeah, can't wait to read how it wraps up. Minor Threat Volume 1, A Quick End to a Long Beginning. Patton Oswalt, Jordan Bloom, and Scott Hepburn. $19.99. From IDW, we have Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Complete Adventures. These is, I assume, based on that cover, this is the stuff that is based on the cartoon, The Rise of the Ninja Turtles. I never did get around to watching. So collecting issues 0 through 5 and 3-issue miniseries Rise of the Ninja Turtles Sound Off. Arca is coming out that same week by Van Jensen and Jesse Lonergan. And IDW is publishing that book, as well as The Second Fake Death of Eddie Campbell. and the fate of the artist. It's a pandemic graphic novel by Eddie Campbell. It's a hardcover, 192 pages. Image is coming out with Nemesis Reloaded. So if you enjoyed Nemesis, this is the Mark Millar story with Steve McNiven, but this is now the Reloaded era. So he's back. I remember the very edgy advertising on that. What if Batman was a... never mind. If y'all remember, you know what I'm talking about. This is Jorge Jimenez drawing it, though. Also, Royal City Compendium, Volume 1. Jeff Lemire's Royal City, collecting all 14 issues of Royal City. Spawn Scorched, Volume 2. Or just Scorched on the cover. But I think it's still, for solicitations, it's still called Spawn Scorched. So Sean Lewis, Todd McFarlane, Steven Segovia, and Thomas Nashlik working on that book. And Video Game of the Year. So this is a softcover edition. A year-by-year guide to the best, boldest, and most bizarre games from every year since 1977. That sounds awesome. $27.99. And Grimm, Volume 2 from Boom Studios is coming out. Stephanie Phillips and Flaviano working on that book. I really dig that cover. There's a lot of good covers here. Wind finally is coming out with a third hardcover, Thrown in the Sky. This is the James Tynion and Michael Dialinas series. My buddy Wonder Matty is a huge fan of that series. Oni Press is releasing Action Journalism that very same week. And we're also getting The Ballad of Ronin coming out in trade paperback format. This is a part 1. And Black Tape coming out in trade paperback from AWA. The Bomb That Changed the World is coming out from Abrams Comics Art. They put out some wonderful books. I believe that may come out the same week that Oppenheimer's out. Boogeyman is coming out in trade paperback format from Ablaze Publishing. This is by Matthew Salvia and Jet. Okay, that's not the Boogeyman I was thinking of. Dear Rosie is coming out in trade paperback format. And that is by Crown Books for Young Readers. Dimensions of it look like it's a little bit smaller than your trade paperback. Diablo, Legends of the Barbarian. And this is a graphic novel by Blizzard Entertainment, publishing their own books. Bull Kathos. And 8 Limbs is coming out from Humanoids Publishing. And that's an awesome cover. Stephanie Phillips and Dan Panosian. Oh, Dan Panosian did that cover. Okay. Julia Lally is the artist on that book. The internal artwork, rather. The He-Man Effect. How American Toy Makers Sold Your Childhood. Published by First Second Books. And Jerry Siegel's Syndicate of Crime vs. Crook from Space is coming out in trade paperback. Jewish Deli Illustrated, A Guide to Chosen Food. John Carpenter's Night Terrors Ushered Down is coming out. That's in trade paperback format. We're finally getting the Michael Moorcock Library Multiverse hardcover volume 1. Hope people aren't burnt out on multiverses, because now we're getting the Michael Moorcock Multiverse. The first hardcover is coming out that week. Offshore Lightning, it's coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Drawn and Quarterly. Palookaville hardcover volume 24, being published by Drawn and Quarterly as well. And PB&J is coming out with a new graphic novel, and this is The Big Bully. This is by Brian Smitty Smith. And we're also getting the PS art book Plastic Man Softy, so it's a soft cover of those particular series. So that probably was released in a hardcover before, but this is the soft cover format. Steve McEvil, hardcover volume 2, Second Coming. And Terry and the Pirates, volume 5. So this is the Master Collection from Clover Press, volume 5. My buddy Kurt from the Epic Marvel Podcast is working on these books. So very exciting. I'm actually, when I get back from Japan, I'll have him on the show to actually talk about these particular collections. I know a lot of my viewers are big fans of these. So this is the Master Collection Volume 5 coming out that week. Eternal Blue Spirit Box is coming out from Z2 Comics by Jim Kruger. And Jim Kruger, some people probably will remember, he was the author, actually he was him and Alex Ross were the big masterminds behind the Earth X trilogy. And Marvel's published those in just 2 Omnis. And to wrap up that week, The Smurfs 3-in-1 Volume 9 from Papercut's Gambling Smurfs. So if you live in Europe and you're interested in purchasing any of these books or pre-ordering them, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of July 19th from Marvel Comics, we kick it off with The Avengers, Omnibus Volume 1. This is the new printing of both covers are coming out, collecting Avengers 1 through 30. In case you missed the Silver Age era, maybe think about picking it up this time around, because as I always like to mention that the reprints of Omnis and of Epic Collections have a smaller print run than new books. And I always forget to mention this, but if you want written documentation of this, yeah, that is found on our Patreon. I write everything down and put it on our Patreon, and that's at $1 a month, that tier. We have different tiers there to meet your needs, though. Black Cat by Jed MacKay Omnibus is coming out that very same week. And this is $100 and 784 pages. Thor Epic Collection Hell on Earth is coming out. This is one of their bigger books. This is 512 pages for $49.99, collecting Thor 476 to 490, Thor Annual number 19, and then material from Avengers Annual number 23. Avengers Assemble, collecting the big event that is, I think it's bringing Jason Aaron's Avenger to a close. But this collects Avengers Assemble Alpha, Avengers 63 to 66, Avengers Forever 12 through 15, Avengers Assemble Omega number 1. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky to Heaven through Hell, collecting Daredevil 31 through 36 and Daredevil Woman Without Fear number 1 through 3. $39.99, 232 pages. And for the people wondering, are they going to stop making those because we have an omnibus? I'll find out if they are or not. I don't know yet, as of this video. Marvel Masterworks Ghost Rider Volume 5, collecting issues 51 through 62 of the classic Ghost Rider series. Marvel Masterworks The Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 6, both the direct market and standard edition cover will be collected will be released this day. Collecting Spectacular Spider-Man 67 to 79. Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, Volume 5, Dead Language, Part 1. You have a cover there by John Romita Jr. Collecting issues 19 through 23 of Spider-Man by Zeb Wells. Extreme X-Men by Claremont and La Roca, A New Beginning. So going back to that time when both La Roca and Claremont were working on the Extreme X-Men. This is the 5-issue miniseries that came out in 2022. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur Menace on Wheels is coming out. So collecting Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur 1 through 5. This is the story of Lunella Lafayette, Moon Girl. From DC Comics, we have Batman Arkham Catwoman. And this collects just different issues of Catwoman, including her first appearance by Bill Finger, of course. Bob Kane, you have stuff in here from Jerry Conway and Jim Ballant. So it has Batman 1, 3, 266, 332, 355, 210, Catwoman 57, Catwoman number 10 from the 2001 series, Catwoman number 2 from the 1988 series, Catwoman the 2018 issue number 1, When in Rome number 4, Detective Comics 122, Who's Who, the Definitive Directory of the DC Universe number 4. So just different eras of Catwoman, 248 pages, $19.99. The Joker presents a puzzle box. So Matthew Rosenberg and Jesus Merino. It's a paperback collecting all 7 issues. Batman One Bad Day, Catwoman. This one is by G. Willow Wilson and Jamie McKelvey. All of these, by the way, are 88 pages, and they are all coming out in hardcover format. The Human Target, Book 2, finally coming out. This is Tom King and Greg Smallwood's series, $29.99, and it collects the last half of The Human Target. Batman One Bad Day, Mr. Freeze. Jerry Duggan and Matteo Scalera are working on this particular book. Yeah, each of these are 88 pages. They limited to 88 pages. Young Justice, Targets. Greg Weisman and Christopher Jones are working on this 6-issue series collected in this trade paperback. From the world of manga, we kick it off with Desire Pandora. Trying to figure out. Okay, yeah. She's got a face. It's got a mask behind it. Final Fantasy Lost Stranger coming out, and that is volume number 9. Great Snake's Bride, Volume 1, being published by 7 Seas Entertainment. That is a beautiful freaking cover. Story and art by Fushi Ashikumo. I don't know what that's about, but that looks absolutely gorgeous. Imitation, Volume 1 is coming out that very same day. And we're also getting another Lupin book. Now we're getting Lupin, Thick as Thieves, the classic collection. So it's another classic collection. My Mate is a Feline Gentleman. Yes, to this day, I still get a kick out of those covers and the names of these books. Record of Lodoss War, Crown Covenant, Volume 2 is coming out. I did a Volume 1 overview. And Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, Volume 18 is coming out. So I guess there'll be more than one of those box sets. And to wrap up the manga for that week, Summer's Hikaru Died is coming out from Yen Press, and that is a Volume 1. From other publishers, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the IDW Collection Volume 15, which I've done an advanced overview on the channel if you want to check that out. This is $59.99, 432 pages. This is the Sophie Campbell era, and it collects Ninja Turtles 113 and 124, and Jenica 2, the miniseries. Star Trek Volume 1 coming out in hardcover format. Gold Shock. Or no, not Gold Shock. God Shock. Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. Oh, those are the guys that did the Captain America book, which are freaking great. So this collects... Let's see here. It collects a prequel short story, A Perfect System from Star Trek 400, and issue 1 through 6 of the new ongoing series. Maybe that's where they were from, but man, do I love their writing. 8 Billion Genies is coming out in the Deluxe Edition from Image Comics, as well as Hell to Pay. And we're also getting Lovesick. And that, I think that's an all-in-one collecting all 7 issues. Luana Vecchio is the creator. She invites you into a digital world of blood and neon to explore the limits of consent, love. It looks interesting. Okay. Radiant Black Volume 4 is coming out, a massive verse book. And Righteous Thirst, the latest Rick Remender book coming out in deluxe edition hardcover. Scotch McTiernan versus Forces of Evil. That's an awesome title, and that's an awesome cover. So versus the Forces of Evil, huh? Jerry Duggan, Brian Potion working together with Scott Koblish. So this collects a bunch of one-shots, the Secret History of the War on Weed one-shot, the Halloween Party one-shot, and the Holiday Party one-shot. $16.99. Alley Oop in the Land of Giants is coming out in trade paperback from Manuscript Press, but not the only Manuscript Press book with Alley Oop, because we're also getting Versus the Black Knight on that very same week. Both of those are trade paperbacks. 007 hardcover book 1, Myrmidon, is coming out from Dynamite. Adventures into the Unknown, Softy Volume 22 is coming out that very same week. Allison from Fantagraphics is being published in hardcover format. Allison tells the story of a young British painter who seizes upon the opportunity to escape from her quiet life in Dorset to the thriving art scene of the late 1970s London. Gotta love those Fantagraphics books. You never know what you're gonna get out of them. Buzzing is coming out in hardcover format from Little Brown Ink. Calculated Man is being published by Aftershock Comics, and that is coming out in trade paperback. The Classified Secrets and Lies is coming out from Fair Square Comics. This is also another trade paperback. Amulet Books is publishing Danny Phantom, Volume 1, Glitch in Time. Deja Thoris, Volume 2, Princess of Earth is coming out from Dynamic Forces. And we're also getting the Disney Masters hardcover Volume 22, Uncle Scrooge, Operation Galleon. And I'm loving those. I'm waiting for the box sets of those because I think eventually Fantagraphics is going to collect them all in box sets. And this is all the stuff I've not read. This is the European stuff that never came out here previously. I think some of the stories did, but definitely not to this extreme. So Operation Galleon Grab is coming out. Dying Light is coming out from Dynamite. Finally getting that out there. Eerie Tales from the School of Screams is coming out in hardcover and in graphic novel format. And we're also getting The Epic Tales of Captain Underpants Marauding Monsters. You can't escape that guy. That's published by Scholastic Incorporated. That guy's taking over the world, man. Just how popular Captain Underpants and Dogman are. And Dogman is the comic within that comic. ERB Monster Man Volume 1. I could have sworn that was already released, or maybe it was supposed to have been released, from American Mythology Productions. And ERB is Edgar Rice Burroughs, by the way. I could have sworn that one already came out. Everfrost is coming out in trade paperback format from Black Mass Studios, as well as Frontera coming out in hardcover and in graphic novel format. And we're also getting the Heart Eyes, the complete series in trade paperback format. And James Bond, Agent of Spectre from Dynamite, coming out in hardcover. Judge Dredd, Darkest Judge, being printed by Rebellion 2000 AD. Mad Cave has given us John Tiffany. And this is a book by Dan Panosian and Steven Desberg. And the cover there is by Dan Panosian. I remember when Dan Panosian was doing the inks for a lot of creators. And yeah, man, he has come far. I'm loving his style. Juliet is coming out in graphic novel format. That looks like a beautiful book based on that cover. That's being published by Drawn and Quarterly. Mika and the Howler is coming out in hardcover format that very same week, published by Oni Press Incorporated. Motel Universe Volume 3 is coming out from Secret Acres. And Mother Nature Direct Market Edition Volume 1. So this is a limited signed edition from Titan Comics. It's, of course, the Jamie Lee Curtis book, and it is signed. This is the signed edition by Jamie Lee Curtis. And Russell Goodman and Carl Stevens are the other two gentlemen working on this particular book. It's her first graphic novel. Oscar winner, may I add. Jamie Lee Curtis. Paper Planes. This is another one that I thought was out already. This is now being published not just by Mad Cave, but by Maverick. Jenny Wood and Dozer Draws. That's an awesome name for an artist. Project Arca, Into the Dark Unknown, is coming out. And expanding on the Red Sonja universe, because the multiverse is just so popular, the Sonjaversal trade paperback Volume 2 coming out that very same week from Dynamite with a real kick-ass cover there. Sword of Super Volume 1 Magma Cup is coming out that very same week, as well as Vampirella Interstellar Volume 3. But it's not the only Vampirella book, because we're also getting Vengeance Vampirella Volume 3 Ghost Dance. And what goes better with Vampirella than Smurfs? I don't know. Because we're getting the We Are the Smurfs Volume 2 Better Together. Zorro Legendary Adventures is coming out in trade paperback. And also Zorro Sacrilege and Rise of the Old Gods is coming out that very same week. The last week of the month brings us from Marvel Comics, The Avengers Omnibus Volume 2. Both the standard and direct market cover will be available that same day. Collecting Avengers 31 through 58, Avengers Annuals 1 and 2, X-Men 45, and then material from Not Brand Ech 5 and 8. $100, 848 pages. Thunderbolts Epic Collection, Justice Like Lightning, finally coming out in Epic Collections. Collecting Thunderbolts 1 through 12, Thunderbolts Distant Rumblings, the -1 issue, and Thunderbolts Annual 97, Incredible Hulk 449, Spider-Man Team Up 7, Heroes for Hire 7, and then material from Tales of the Marvel Universe #1. This one is 520 pages, $49.99. Marvel Masterworks, The X-Men. Now, this is the Remasterworks, collecting the first 10 issues of X-Men and coming back to print with the best possible scans and masters now. So, who knows? Maybe they'll reuse those someday when they reprint the Omnis. X-Men Epic Collection, The Fate of the Phoenix, coming out with a new printing. And this one here, Curtis and I actually talked about how different this one looks compared to the previous printing. The previous printing was printed at the Fry Communications and it had the really thin paper. This one looks a lot better. And also, the X-Men logo is a different color for this printing. Collecting issues 129 to 143, Uncanny X-Men Annual number 4, Marvel Treasury Edition 26 through 27, and the Phoenix Untold Story. And material from Marvel Team Up number 100. You're getting so much awesome stories in here. I mean, this is such an amazing collection. Not just the Dark Phoenix saga, but also Days of Future Past in here. Avengers by Jason Aaron coming out in hardcover format, collecting issues 31 through 45. You have Ed McGuinness on artwork, as well as Javier Garon doing the art. And Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, Spider-Man or Spider-Clone. Now we're getting into the Clone Saga era of Spidey in Epic Collection. Collecting issues 143 to 164, Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 10, and then material from Marvel Treasury Edition number 1. This one's 464 pages, $44.99. Captain America by Ta-Nehisi Coates Omnibus. Both the direct market and standard edition cover will be released that same day. Collecting Captain America 1 through 30, that's the 2018 series that was relaunched, and the free comic book day Avengers Captain America. Trials of X, Volume 11. Collecting X-Men number 7, Secret X-Men number 1, Sabretooth number 1, Devil's Reign X-Men 1 and 2. And again, series will be, or that particular anthology series will be discontinued with volume 12. That will be the last one. Mary Jane and Black Cat, Dark Web. So they're getting in on the fun. Collecting all 5 issues of this miniseries by Jed McKay. Strange Academy Finals with Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos. Collecting Strange Academy issues 1 through 6. I thought they were going to do one more. Well, maybe this might be the wrap-up. $13.99. And we're also getting Daredevil and Elektra by Chip Zdarsky, Volume 2, The Red Fist Saga, Part 2, collecting issues 6 through 10. I'm curious where this story is going to end up, because there was a game-changing moment in the previous volume, Volume 1 of that. Hulk by Donny Cates, Hulk Planet, collecting issues 9 through 14. So you have Donny Cates is actually the last of the Donny Cates books, because you also have Ryan Ottley wrapping up his stories with Donny Cates, so he helps write those stories. From the world of DC Comics, we have Icon and Rocket Season 1 now coming out in trade paperback format, collecting Icon and Rocket Season 1 through 6. Batman, Gotham Knights, Gilded City. Evan Narcisse and Abel are the creators working on this book. And this is a hardcover for $24.99, 144 pages. Batman the Knight. So here we have another hardcover by Chip Zdarsky and Carmine Di Giandomenico. $39.99, 208 pages, and collecting Batman the Knight. That's with a K, by the way. I'm sure you could probably figure that out. From the world of manga, we have Amongst Us, Not Among Us, Volume 1, Soulmates. Published by 7 Seas Entertainment. And it looks like a beautiful book. We're also getting Asumi-chan is interested in lesbian brothels. You ain't alone, Asumi-chan. Fire Force Omnibus, Volume 5, collecting issues 13 through 15 of Fire Force. And Heroic Legend of Arslan, Volume 18. I really hope those are released later on in hardcover format. I love the anime, and I can't wait to see what this particular manga adaptation is like. The Great Cleric is coming out, and that is being published by Kodansha, and that is a volume 1, by the way. Seraph of the End, Guren Ichinose, Catastrophe at 16. Man, they pretty much tell you exactly what's up in these titles. Soichi, Junji Ito Story Collection hardcover. They are just pumping those hardcovers out. It's got Junji Ito's name. You can bet it's going to be a hardcover eventually. Zoganasi's Volume 1 is coming out that last week of July as well. From Dark Horse Comics, we have Us by Jomette Gill and Sylvia Pere Labayen. And this is created by Sarah Solar. 144 pages, $19.99. Castle Full of Blackbirds from the world of Hellboy right here. Collecting all 4 issues of this series. Mike Mignola, Angela Slater, and Valeria Burso working on this book, as well as Michelle Madsen and Clem Robbins. The Never-Ending Party. This one's really personal. This is by my buddy Joe Corallo, who watches the show. He's been on the show with me a couple of times. Who was also really good friends with Rachel Pollack, who passed away earlier this year. A pioneer in her craft. Lost to cancer. But for the first time, this collects The Never-Ending Party 1 through 5. It's a Comixology original series. And it's also drawn by Eva Cabrera. I have to mention that too. Spy Superb by Matt Kent, now published in a non-limited edition hardcover format from Dark Horse Comics. And it does have a brand new cover, and it's still going to remain with the gold embossed foil and a ribbon. Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 2, Age of Doom, 1 through 12, and Black Hammer Cthulhuese and World of Black Hammer Encyclopedia, now available in an omnibus format. So, in omnibus format, Dark Horse is the soft covers, big, thick soft covers. Cold Iron from Andy Diggle and Nick Brokenshire, as well as Triona Farrell. This is being published by Dark Horse, and it collects the first 4 issues of that series. BPRD Omnibus, they're just pumping these out. BPRD Omnibus Volume 6. Wow, that's crazy. So now we've got to be at Hell on Earth by this point. Yeah, Ape Sapiens Gone Missing, so this is the Hell on Earth era. Prism Stalker, The Weeping Star by Sloan Leong. This is published in trade paperback format, 160 pages, and it is the follow-up to Prism Stalker. Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin. We're finally getting another Jeff Darrow Shaolin Cowboy adventure. You have colors in here by Dave Stewart, and collecting Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin 1 through 7. If you've not read this stuff, it's an experience. I can guarantee you it's crazy, brutal, and downright ridiculous at times. Radiant Pink is coming out from Image Comics, as well as Spawn Origins, the Deluxe Edition Volume 6. Not to be missed, in case you missed out on the first 5 first 4 when they were originally printed. Eve, Children of the Moon is coming out in trade paperback format, and that is published by Boom Entertainment. Always Human Volume 2, Love and Gravity is coming out, and that is by Little B Books Incorporated. And we're also getting Bear's Tooth, Volume 4, America Bomber. Betty Page, The Alien Agenda is coming out in trade paperback format from Dynamite. Buck Danny Classics, graphic novel volumes 3 and 4 coming out on that very same day. Cerebus, Volume 16, The Last Day, is getting a new printing, and it's also going to be a signed edition. The Clash of Guards is coming out in trade paperback format. That is published by Rebellion 2000 AD. And we're getting Doombreaker Volume 1. This is published by Webtoon Unscrolled. Door to Door Night by Night is being published by Vault Comics, and this is by Cullen Bunn and Sally Cantarino. I've had Cullen Bunn on the channel a couple times. I have no idea. And every time I see him, I always tell him, I have no idea how you write so much. Like, you write more than I draw, brother. And it's so true. I don't know how he does it. Ernie in Kovacs Land is coming out that very same week. And this is being published by Fantagraphics. Scout Comics is publishing Eternus. And Evil Ernie Lives is coming out from Dynamite. So they may have licensing to Evil Ernie, but not Lady Death. That's interesting. Firebird. Not interesting. We see it happen all the time. From Harper Alley's coming out in a trade paperback format. Hecades Will is coming out, and that is being published by Black Mass Studios. Homicide graphic novel volume 1, published by First Second Books. Titan Comics is publishing In Search of Gil Scott-Heron, the godfather of rap, celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Discover the godfather of rap. That's not the full title. It's just In Search of Gil Scott-Heron. And James Bond Himero's hardcovers coming out. They're putting out a lot of Bond books. Those Dynamite Bond books are freaking awesome, by the way, if you've not read them. I've enjoyed each one of them. They're all a little bit different. Land of the Living Gods is being published by Aftershock. Isaac Morgahane and Santos are the creators behind that particular title. And we're also getting Scrooge McDuck hardcover Dragon of Glasgow. Interesting title. Macbeth is coming out in hardcover format. And that is being published by Avery Hill Publishing. My wife has some of their books in her classroom. Misfit Mansion is being published in hardcover and in trade paperback format. Phoenix Studios is putting out Pimp Killer in graphic novel format. Plan 59 from Outer Space. It's Dren Productions is publishing that one. PS Art Book Military Comics Softies coming out, and that is volume 3. Red Sonja volume 1 Mother. This is the 2021 series is coming out in trade paperback format. And we're also getting Rogue State volume 1 from Black Mass Studios Entertainment. As well as Jed is coming out from Blue Fox Comics, and that is being written by Richard Fairgray and drawn by Lucy Campagnolo. And we're also getting Sheena volume 1 Dangerous Game. And that cover, whew, Dynamite! It's a Dynamite cover, but I'm saying it's Dynamite Publishing as well. Shepherdess Warriors Volume 1 is being published by Blaze Publishing. That is a cute looking cover. But being a Blaze, I don't know if it's a kid's book or not. Snot Goblins and Other Tasteless Tales is coming out in hardcover format and in trade paperback format from First Second Books. And Social Fiction is coming out in graphic novel format from New York Review Comics. And we're also getting Teddy Scares, not Teddy Bears, but Teddy Scares from Dren Productions with a take on Poltergeist right there. Twisted Dark is coming out in a graphic novel format, and this is volume 4 by TPB. And Unknown Caller. Unknown Colors being published by Invader Comics. Danny's War Diary. So this is a War Party book by Rampart Press. Justin Murphy is both the writer and artist on that book. Action Tank Volume 2 is coming out from Scout Comics. And we're also getting Arn Anderson, My Life as the Enforcer. And published by Source Point Press. Beyondtopia Legends is coming out in trade paperback format. That's an awesome cover by Fair Square Comics. And we're also getting Theory Volume 1. And that is being published by TPB. And to wrap up that week and the month of July, Zombicide. And that is Day 1 by Source Point Press. Now, if you're interested in purchasing these books, check out our sponsor. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were your books coming out in July of 2023. So that's it. Let me know in the comments down below what you're picking up. Again, the written documentation can be found through our Patreon, starting at $1 a month. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Everyone, smash that like button on the way out. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.